Fortune's Progeny, The Ascent, Episode 8, The Audit and the Withdrawal. The move to the shared house was a study in controlled surrender. Trent packed his life into a dozen boxes and a single duffel bag, the process of physical manifestation of the pruning he had been doing for months. The guitar was gone. The extra sneakers were donated. The books that remained were the ones he had actually read and would read again. His new room, with its view of the brick wall, felt less like a compromise and more like a clearing, a blank space where something new could be built. The first week was an exercise in adaptation. The shower schedule was indeed more complex than Leo's crypto charts, but it worked. The compost bin became a source of quiet anxiety every time he peeled a carrot. And the noise, the constant low-level hum of other people living, was initially jarring, then gradually became a kind of white noise, a reminder that he was no longer alone with his spreadsheet and his fears. Chloe, the medical resident, was the first to engage him in something beyond logistics. Over a shared pot of coffee at 5:30 a.m., her post-call ritual, his pre-work preparation, she asked,
"So what's your deal? Leo said you're in some kind of intense mentorship. Finance stuff?"
Trent hedged.
Something like that. Learning a new system.
She nodded, too tired to probe further.
Systems are good. The ER runs on protocols. Without them, it's just screaming and blood. With them, it's controlled chaos.
She took a long sip of her coffee.
What's your system's first rule? I'm curious.
He said something, surprising himself with the answer.
Build a wall, $1,000 emergency fund, so the stupid stuff doesn't become a catastrophe.
Chloe looked at him, her exhausted eyes suddenly sharp.
That's actually brilliant. A lot of times I just hope nothing bad happens. You're planning for it. That's good.
Learning to plan for it.
Same thing.
She ended the conversation and went to bed. Silas arrived for a scheduled check-in a few days later. He stood in the center of Trent's small room, his gaze sweeping the bare walls, the single window, the neatly made bed. Taking it all in, he simply absorbed it as data.
The move is complete. Now we audit.
Silas stated as he sat at Trent's small desk, his large frame folding into the cheap chair with a surprising economy of movement. From his folio, he produced printed bank statements, the debt tracker, the housing analysis, and the Greenwise proposal. He laid them out like a general surveying a battlefield.
The car repair. Let's start there. You used the emergency fund and paused the avalanche for 22 days to replenish it. Correct. The personal loan is now down to $22.15, with the full $665 monthly payment attacking it. Projected payoff date, approximately 3.5 months. Good.
He moved to the housing analysis, his pen making small check marks.
You selected a suboptimal social arrangement for optimal financial benefit. This is a sensible prioritization for this phase. The rent reduction is real. The commute is eliminated. Your avalanche remains intact. Well done.
Finally, he picked up the Greenwise feedback printout, the one with the trustee's cryptic, "well noted." He read it slowly, twice, his expression unreadable. Setting it down, Silas remarked,
This is your first strategic credit. The trustees do not give praise lightly. Well noted is a substantial deposit into your credibility account. You solved for the human variable. That is rare in this family.
He looked directly at Trent.
You are approaching the end of the purely mechanical phase. You have proven you can follow instructions under pressure. Now you must understand the why behind the empire you wish to lead. Aethelgard did not become what it is by merely avoiding debt and buying index funds.
From his folio, Silas produced a single black and white photograph. It showed a severe, unsmiling man in workman's clothes standing before a small, bustling factory. The caption read, Alistair Aethelgard, 1946, First Furniture Workshop.
Your great-grandfather, he started with one principle: create something of such undeniable value and quality that it sells itself. He plowed every profit back into better tools, worker training, and premium materials. He carried no debt, even if it meant growing slower. That
Silas pointed to the foundation steps list on the wall.
is steps 1 through 3, applied to a business. He built his full emergency fund, a cash reserve, before expanding. When he did expand, he paid in cash.
He placed a second photograph beside the first. It was a color image of a stunning, modern, green tech research campus, all glass and solar panels. The caption read, "Aethelgard Renewables Hub, present day."
This was built by taking the massive capital accumulated from decades of that discipline, Step 7 wealth, and investing it into a vision for the next century, without debt and with purpose. An empire is not a pile of money. It is the physical manifestation of a family's disciplined values over time. You are currently learning to manage a fortune, step by step, while you are also being tested to see if you embody the values that created it.
Trent stared at the photo of Alistair, at the man's unwavering focus on his workshop. The project suddenly felt real and heavy in a new way. It was about legacy, not just a ledger.
Your next assignment.
Silas continued.
Study the first Aethelgard business, the furniture company, now called Aethelgard Heritage. Read its founding charter. Your next insight challenge will relate to it. You must understand the soul of the machine before you can be trusted with its controls. You get that?
After Silas left, Trent didn't open his budget. He sat in his small room, the photograph of Alistair on his phone screen, studying the man's eyes. They were not fixed on the camera, but on his workshop, with the focused intensity of someone building something meant to last. It was the same focus Trent was trying to cultivate. One debt payment, one log entry, one compromise at a time. His phone buzzed. A vault notification. He opened it, expecting a new directive from Silas or a status update from Anya. It was a single line from an anonymized sender within the system. Felicity has withdrawn from the Progeny protocol. Reason cited. Irreconcilable pressure. The field narrows. The news brought no joy, only a cold, clarifying understanding of the stakes. The pressure was not an accident or an obstacle. It was the forge. Felicity had broken. He was still standing. For now. He looked at the photograph of Alistair again. The founder had endured decades of pressure, not months. Trent was just beginning to understand what endurance meant. He closed his phone, opened the stewardship binder, and wrote a single line. The withdrawal. One less contender. The pressure is real, but the pressure is also the point. The forge does not apologize for the fire.